Alright, in this video I'm just going to overview the Tinkercad circuits simulation interface. So when you first open up a new circuit program, you're going to be looking at the screen here. You have a couple different tools. Up top there's going to be some type of random name. You can change that name out in the preferences of your program, and I'll demonstrate that in a later video. Then you have a couple tools here that I'll demonstrate in just another minute. And then over here you have your different view or menu options. So the menu that's automatically opened up is your components menu. And you can tell that it's open because it's highlighted blue and it's showing down here at the bottom. So your components are all of your different electronic components that you can use. And by default you're going to be looking at basic. You can also go to all components, or you can go to starter components, and these are going to be pre-wired components. You can also search for something, so you can type in whatever you want and it'll go ahead and show you that component here. If you'd like to select a component, you very simply drag and drop it out into the window. The component menu will keep reappearing, so you can kind of drag and drop multiple components out onto your window at a time here. To close the component window, you just simply hit the components button up top. You can drag and drop these anywhere on your window work plane, and when you click on them you'll notice that you get a menu. Here you can rename the component, so I can call this resistor 1. You can change values, so for example the resistor I can make it any value I want. If it was say an LED or something, I could change the color of the LED. Now up top I can demonstrate what these tools do. So undo and redo very simply just undoes and redoes whatever it is that you just made a change. So for example, I can undo adding these or whatever. You can zoom in and out by scrolling in and out, and what this button does is it makes everything fit into your window. So automatically zoom in as much as possible to fit everything in. So if I were to put this all the way over here and zoom out, it'll fit both components in my window. The trash can, you can delete a component with the trash can. You can also click on the component and hit Backspace. And then this button right here rotates your components. You can kind of rotate them around, which helps when you're connecting them together. If you want to connect the component, so for example, if I want to connect the resistor to this switch here, I just very simply click on the terminal points and it'll automatically go ahead and create a wire. And I can recolor the wire to whatever wire color I want. And by default it tries to make a straight connection. If I click multiple points, so for example if I came down here and clicked, it would go ahead and make an anchor point. So you can kind of go ahead and draw wire patterns however it is that you want. So you can sort of navigate your wires around and make your circuit components even like so. Now another window that we have is the Start Simulation window, and what that does is actually runs your simulation. So for example, if I were to add a starter component here, let's see, we'll just find multiple LEDs. So somebody already wired up some batteries and LEDs. Now we'll notice that right now this is not turned on. Okay, but if I were to hit Start Simulation, it'll power the circuit. So these LEDs are now turned on here. So you can go ahead and assemble your component and then hit Start Simulation to actually see it work. You cannot edit your circuit. So for example, I can't delete this LED. And if I do, it actually stops the simulation. So you can't edit your circuit while simulating. You have to stop the simulation or it's going to stop it for you. The last window here is the code editor. And by default, if you click on it, they'll say no programmable components can be found. So what you first need to do is add an Arduino component, and there's multiple Arduino components in here. If I just search for Uno, we'll find the basic Arduino Uno board that I can drag out. And now that I've added this board, I can go ahead and hit Code Editor, and you can see that I can both edit the code in script or block. If I want to hide the block code, I just very simply hit this block button, and now I can just see my script.